Hey everybody, welcome back. It's episode 23 of the Common Woman podcast.
Yay.
Oh. Zip. Yay.
Thank you for jump starting that because I was just going to sit here.
So guys, episode 23, we're getting close to that 25th episode. That came up really fast. Really, really fast. Yeah, so it's cold today. It's like beyond fall weather, and I'm still holding on to the summer, so I'm a little upset about that. But hello, is anybody with me here? Hello?
I'm right here.
Sorry.
But you're not doing the intros, yo.
Sorry.
I didn't get to the intro yet.
Damn.
You guys always rushing me to the intro.
Sorry, my mom just texted me. I had to read it. Their flight is late. I was concerned to see if they wanted to come over and stay at my house. Sorry.
Did she answer back yet?
Yeah, they're going to stay there. So I'm ignoring her till the end of this. My bad. My bad.
That's okay. I understand. You got to make sure mommy and daddy's good. But yeah, I am your host, Cortnie. I'm joined by the lovely, the talented, the gorge.
You see,
I had to add
that's
extra
why.
adjectives.
Wow.
That's
You
why
see
I'm
how she
always
got all
confused.
open?
I was like, wait.
I got barked on last episode, y'all.
I mean. Anyway, Melissa, hi.
And I'm also joined by my amazing husband, who I love so much, and we're creeping up on our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Hey.
I mean, not creeping up, it's next month, but
Yeah.
Babe is in the building.
Nice, 10 years. Congrats, guys.
Well,
Thank you. I'm excited. Feels like we just got together.
Oh.
He's like, lies. So, guys, we are bucking it up again. Well, at least me and Mel got some Kentucky Bucks we're drinking. And they're delicious, as always. We kicked it up a little bit, like a notch with the bourbon, is it?
Yes.
Well,
They put a
you
little
finally
extra
did. I've been kicked up.
So I kicked it up a notch, but it tastes just like it did before. It's
But
so
it's not-
sweet that you can't really tell.
But it's not going to feel that way.
We'll see what happens by the end of this podcast, what we sound like. We have a topic today, yet we feel kind of like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, before we get to the topic, let's talk about our advice segment. Advice from the common women.
I almost did the noise. Like
You
the
know
noise
you
I
did.
got now because it sounds so corny when I
After
said
We
it.
all that.
had planned a sound effect for that. It didn't work
The
out.
sound effect she picked was creepy, and then I was gonna do one with my mouth, but then that just sounded weird.
After
We're just not
all
doing
that.
it. We're
No
just
bing bings.
bing,
Okay.
bing,
Yeah, that was
There it
lame.
is.
Yeah, that was lame.
bing.
Yeah, the wind chimes did sound kind of creepy, so we spared y'all from that.
Mm.
So our advice segment is speaking with Anthony, one of our listeners, a new listener. He had reached out to us regarding him and his wife. It was kind of difficult because he didn't really give us too much details about what's going on. So he basically just said that he's having trouble understanding his wife and meeting her expectations, and they keep getting into fights, and it seems like they're doing okay, but then whenever they get into a fight, then there's like they get set all the way back. And he had mentioned something how he made a mistake in the past where he had commented on social media, and he said something he shouldn't have said that made someone respond to him as if he was trying to like say something, but he wasn't.
He was flirting.
That's what it sounded like to me.
He was flirting.
That's what it sounded like to me. So I don't know.
And that's what
Honestly,
I wanted to know, if he had cheated, but he's saying no.
Right.
But are you making a lot of promises that you're just not following through on and you're pissing her off?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
We have a lot of
We
questions.
don't like that.
We have a lot of questions because
Yeah, but what did you exactly say that was misconstrued, though?
right, because
Yeah, because if she
There's not a lot
responded and
you
was
could
with
say.
it.
That
for
could be
someone to
confusing.
respond and be
Yeah.
like, what's good,
You know what
like
I'm saying?
in my head, like I just see we could be completely off with this, but in my
Yeah,
head I
yeah.
see him like commenting on someone's picture saying like, oh, you look good, or something, or just commenting too much or something that made her feel like, okay, what's going on with you? So if something like that happened,
Plus, you got to go further back. It's like what led her to feel this way about you to
Right.
begin with.
It sounds like there's a trust issue there.
Right.
So either there was a trust issue to begin with, or there was a trust issue that came up because of this situation with you commenting on something that you probably shouldn't have commented on. So if there's a trust issue there and you guys haven't really dealt with it, then, you know, these things are going to keep coming up. And it's like reopening a sore wound. Anything that happens, like, you'll fight and it'll just go right back to that. So it sounds like she's not over whatever it is that happened, if something happened, you know. But we're making a whole bunch of speculations here because it's like, what, we don't really know.
Throw away your Instagram. Throw it out.
Yo, Instagram, social media could be a serious problem for relationships.
For
like
a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's a problem if you're acting out.
If what?
If you're acting out.
Exactly.
See?
Like, do like Babe and just don't
That's it.
post one picture ever.
Once a year. Like
don't
Christmas,
say nothing. I saw you posted a picture of our daughter. I was
That's
like,
it.
oh my God.
I can't get in trouble with that.
You look on your Instagram page, there's that
There
one picture.
Oh my.
That's it.
There it is.
And you know, I quickly commented underneath, we're so blessed. So everyone can see that I am the wife.
Psych.
Beat
Oh.
that. Beat that.
She's crazy.
No, I mean, I commented because I was just so
Yeah.
excited to see that you posted something.
She won a steady. She won a
Beat
steady.
that. Beat that.
Yeah.
See?
So he also
We know
mentioned
she's
that,
crazy, though.
whatever.
Yeah.
So he also mentioned that he's having a hard time being patient, but he also wants her to be patient with him because, you know, that's what marriage is about. And, you know, they got to work through stuff. And
What are we being patient with?
I don't know because he wouldn't tell us anything. So
Sir, we cannot give you advice if we don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
honestly,
there's not enough details
It's
to
not
give
enough.
advice, in my opinion.
yeah. But off of the information that was given, I feel like you guys are having trouble communicating. And if that's an issue, there's communication issues, there's trust issues. So y'all need to work that out, whether you need to go and get some couple counseling. Like, I highly recommend going to find a marriage and family therapist who can help you guys to communicate better and to talk about what your expectations are, because you really shouldn't be guessing what your partner's expectations are. Like, I know exactly what Babe expects of me. He knows exactly what I expect of him. So it's like, if you're having trouble with the expectations part of it, then there's a communication issue. Like, or there's a hearing issue. You're not hearing her, or she's not hearing you, you know, because you also said that you do a lot of stuff for her, like more than any other man would, or something like that. And it seems like she doesn't recognize it or something like that.
Okay,
so
he's not feeling appreciated.
He's not feeling appreciated. Yeah. So that's a problem too. Like, we don't want to put it all on you, because from what you've told us, it doesn't sound like you've really done anything wrong except for what happened with the commenting. So, you know, if she's not getting over something, or if she's not appreciating you for what you're doing and who you are and what you represent in your marriage, then that's a problem too. So those are all things that, if you can't resolve that amongst yourselves within your marriage, then I highly recommend going to a therapist, because it sounds like you really do care about your wife and you want to be with her. You said you've been together for 5-6 years. So, you know, you want to build and improve. Like, sometimes we need a little help. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, and that's that. Bing, bing, bing. Bing.
Whack.
So whack. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Whatever.
Sorry, I keep yawning. YouTubers.
Don't let us keep you away.
I was about to fall
I have
asleep
so
over
much
here.
allergy medicine in me. It's not. I can't
And now
control
you're
it
gonna
at this
chase it
point.
with 3 ounces of bourbon.
Yes.
I appreciate you
Yes, I
though
am.
for
Yes, I am.
You're gonna feel
pushing through
great.
and making it here. You know, she gets really bad allergies, so
Oh man. All right.
I appreciate you trucking through. So
Excuse me.
with that advice, that kind of goes along with our topic today. We're talking about oversharing, breakups, and moving on. Sorry, oversharing, breakups, and moving on.
I was like, what is that deep breath? Are you all right?
Saying,
I was looking for the rest of the words. I couldn't find
That's
it.
why you were looking at me. I didn't have it. I was waiting. I was like, girl, I don't remember it.
Oversharing, breakups, and moving on.
I didn't get a chance to really think about this topic because I've been asleep for 2 days.
But you had a lot of things that you wanted to say about oversharing, because this was actually your topic that you came up with.
Oversharing I still didn't fully think about it. I know I'm super guilty of oversharing. And what I mean by that is, I feel like, and I'm guilty of this, and I'm really, 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 really trying to work on it. I tell too much to my close friends, and even sometimes my mom.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like when you share too much, you realize that you share mainly the negative things, because you're with someone and they'll get on your nerves, or they'll do something stupid, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, and you want to tell someone.
Yeah.
But if you keep telling someone just the constant negative things of your relationship, now your friend does not like this person.
Yep.
And just, you're not going to get the same type of advice that you need or should get. You put a bad taste in people's mouth.
Yeah. They're not going to be objective anymore.
They're not at
They're
all.
going to want to jump on your side and be like, you need to dead this person.
Exactly. And you've made things 1,000 times worse than it probably really is. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're in your feelings. And so that's something that I do all the fucking time.
Girl, me too.
And so I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah, I need to work on that too. You know who I overshare with too much? My dad. I love my dad so much. I'm really close to him. And I share a lot of stuff with him, but I think it, you know, can sometimes be to my detriment. But one time, a boyfriend had told me that he thinks I would be a good stripper.
Oh my God, I've heard that too. I hate that. I hate that statement.
Wait, that's a compliment?
I had the nerve to tell my
Apparently.
dad that. Let me tell you, the next time he saw the two of us together, we were in his car, in my boyfriend at the time's car. My dad walked up to the window and punched the glass so hard that I thought he was going to break the glass where my boyfriend at the time was sitting. And I was like, what was that? And the guy was like, what was that? I was like, I don't know. Then later my dad told me, he was like, yeah, I remember what he said about you being a stripper and stuff. I was like, yeah, he was.
See, you almost made your pops catch your case.
Yo, for real.
You know how fathers are, though. He wouldn't have caught no case. He would have made the body disappear.
Like from the South
when
too?
it deals with your daughter.
Call your uncle.
Nugget Grove.
That's right. All the way from Nugget Grove.
Yeah, so yeah, I overshare too much with my dad.
I stopped. I learned my lesson in my most recent relationship, the serious one. I told her way too much. So, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I remember someone close to me told me something about their girlfriend, and I was just like done with her after that. But then when they say with them, it's like, what do you do? Where do you put all that?
That's right.
You got to just hold that because it's really up to them what they want to do.
Jack.
No, you're like a vault. You literally don't say anything about anybody. You don't say anything about your life to anybody. There's a lot of people who don't even know what I look like.
Nah,
and we've
everybody
been
knows
together for
like.
over 10 years.
The whole office
Is
knows
that a
you.
jab?
You saw that, right?
Is she like,
beat that.
are you going to post me on your gram?
No.
Yo, Inaya got played before I did. But it's okay. I understand.
That's what the girls want to see.
Do you have a picture at work?
Her picture? It's on the computer.
Oh, you
You
don't
probably
have
have
like
an old
desk,
busted picture.
like with the, you don't have a desk with the frame picture?
No, we got little cubes. It's like smaller than your cubes.
So you just got my picture up there like a regular
screensaver.
Polaroid picture?
No, on the screen with the baby.
Oh, because Inaya was in it. That's why you put it up.
They're like, oh, she's so pretty. Who's that dark girl with?
Meanwhile, I have like 50 pictures of him on my desk.
We're going to buy a frame. What's your color scheme?
It's just
You're getting a desk.
dirty ass brown.
And we're going to get an updated picture because I know you got a picture from me from like 1950.
It's dirty brown.
It's nasty, but the cube it's not pretty. And it's like a small cube. I'm no longer in the soup cubicle. They cut us down.
Oh, poor guy.
I'm slumming now.
Delta
Poor
would call
guy.
you a basic.
That's right. I'm very basic.
Oh my God, my parents are flying Delta. I'm like, they are trash. They are
They should complain and
trash.
get like put in the Comfort Plus like you were. Since they got delayed.
Basic
I mean,
plus.
it's
They're like, but
weather,
there's a
but-
hurricane. I don't care. Give me that Comfort Plus.
You know,
The wings still work, miss.
I should actually tell her to complain about missing the connector. But there's nothing you can do in it.
No.
Yeah.
But what I don't like about them is that they lie. They don't tell you the truth as to why it's. Anyway,
But-
we're not gonna get into this situation. Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
We're gonna get you a picture frame
All right.
with the picture in
All
it.
right. It's gotta be.
You will, cause I know computers go black. Look, she ain't staying up. We need to stay up.
It would be like the color of almost the color of the projector. That's the edge metal of the
You
cubicles.
sound really low.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
The edge metal of the cubicles are like the color of the projector.
You want black, white, or gold? You doing too much.
You gotta get fancy, yo.
You want
Black,
gold?
black.
Black. He wants black, girl.
Okay, I'm gonna get you one. You better put me. I'm gonna put the picture in it for you.
That's right.
This way you don't have to worry. I'm gonna
That's
put the prettiest picture of myself.
And we
I
don't
can
work.
find.
We don't work far, so we gonna roll by, make
That's
sure it's
fine.
there.
That's right.
That's okay, because I'm gonna go remote soon, so.
That's messed up.
That's fine, cause
Nah, I'm just playing.
Anyway.
I was gonna keep going forever with
Yeah.
this.
Oversharing. Yeah, and then sometimes you could overshare with your friends, and then they end up saying something in front of your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend, and it's like, wait, how do they know about that? That's not a fun situation.
No, because you gotta do that when they're gone. That's right.
So be careful what y'all say, especially if you want people to still support you if you stay with that person. So.
Just don't say anything at all. That's what I'm
But
getting at.
you gotta be able to vent sometimes.
You can't though. You can't vent everything.
For certain things, yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna stop venting altogether.
So in that case, I understand why Mr. Anthony didn't share everything with us. To keep the integrity of his marriage.
Yeah, but
You
you
never
can't.
know.
But
His
you
wife
can't
might
ask.
know
But
them,
you can't
though.
ask for advice and then not give us
Yeah.
all details.
But we
Yeah.
don't know them though, so it don't matter to us. We're just making an objective.
He said he would have told us, but he wanted to speak to us directly.
No,
but we don't call
We
people.
don't do live yet.
Just so everybody knows, we don't call anybody. We love y'all. Thank you for listening, but we're not calling you.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. We're not there yet. So, moving on after breakups, moving on after an argument. You gonna say something?
Suelta. Here it comes.
So I realized that I give too much time to the mourning process of a breakup.
Why do you say too much?
Because I do. I'm one of those people that I'm constantly in my head. I'm constantly thinking. I dwell. And I don't know if like... I feel like I like to dig the knife in deeper in myself. I don't know why. I really
to
do.
punish yourself?
Yeah, like I'll dwell on things
You
and
mean like
harp
if
on
you
them
break
for
up with
so
them?
long. No, it's not as
So
bad
you
as
just
that
wanna
now.
feel
But
the
whenever,
pain?
yeah, like I feel it.
That's the
No, but I
S&M
mean,
in
like, does it depend on? Does it depend on if you broke up with them or they broke up with you, or it doesn't matter?
It's more. I want to say it's more of the. It depends on what happened in the breakup. Like if it's a cheating situation, I can't say if I did it, unless it's extreme circumstances. But anyway, so after my last relationship, I gave it too much time, and I know that due to circumstances, I had a lot of healing to do, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But I still feel like a year and a half is extreme.
Wait, so you were feeling this for a year and a half?
Yeah, I was going through the motions for a year and a half.
But isn't it
There's
depending on
context
what it
to
is?
that.
Yeah.
There's context because you were still somewhat in contact with that person, and you kind of had to ease off of it for a certain reason. So I think that's why it was longer.
Okay, so let's say it still took me about a year. And I feel like we need to set boundaries when it comes to mourning a breakup.
Amen. I agree.
I think that we need to designate a certain amount of time. All right. I'm going to designate this entire 7 days to crying it the fuck out.
I agree.
And losing my shit and being depressed. And then after that, it's time to put that shit away.
I agree.
So you think
That's
7
so
days
funny.
is enough?
That's funny.
I'm just saying, for example,
Oh, okay.
you can give yourself. I guess it depends
Whatever
on
works
how
for
long
you.
or whatever just works for you. But no more. I say no more than a month, and I'm being generous.
No, that's good.
I know you don't listen to Joe Budden podcast, but Maul said the exact same thing. He said that to Joe when him and Sin broke up. He was like, "I'm gonna give you a good week, and if you're not back to normal, it's like, come on, man, come on." So yeah,
It's
agree.
like you just tend to lose yourself in the breakup. And I get it because I lost myself completely in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I gave everything and had nothing left for myself.
Yeah.
So I get that it took me a long time because I had to just rebuild everything from nothing. But I still gave it so much more energy than it needed. And I needed to be done with that and put that much more energy in myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just kept it alive for too long. So,
and just like it's important to not let it go for too long, it's important to not move on too fast, which is what my problem was. I would just try to jump right into the next relationship because I didn't want to feel whatever it was I was feeling.
I was like that. And but that specific relationship, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't stomach another man. I was like physically ill.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was physically ill.
That's terrible.
It's all good. We good now. But
yeah, we good. We all good.
But
Oh man, it's hard. It's really hard. But I really like that you said that, though. It's very true. And that's true for mourning in general. Because I remember, I mean, this is kind of unrelated to the topic, but when I was mourning my mom, I saw how bad it could get if I stayed in the depths of mourning.
Yeah.
And I literally had to cap it. I was like, okay, I feel myself going down really low. I can't do that. I have to stop here. Like, I had to regulate myself.
Yeah.
So you got to do the same thing when you're going through a breakup, or even when you're moving on from an argument. It's a lot harder to move on, especially from an argument or even with a breakup, if you feel like you don't have any closure or there was no resolution or whatever. Like if you got ghosted or something like that, or if, I don't know, like you didn't really want to break up with this person, or you didn't want to separate this friendship out of your life, then it's hard for people to move on.
Yeah, but we have to start being okay with the lack of closure, because you're not going to get it every single time.
You're not. Yeah.
And you might want that closure because you want it to be something that you don't like. You don't want it to be the same thing that you think it is. You want it, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to kind of hear what you did, but you kind of also want to put the blame on them. I feel like it's kind of just getting that piece of information to put the blame somewhere.
Yeah, because it'll make you feel a little bit better if you could blame that other person.
And I was listening to someone and they talked about giving yourself specific time to mourn it. What was I gonna say? Oh my god, I lost my thought. wait
because you were talking about
wait, no, don't.
No.
Okay. Okay. You give it time. You give yourself whatever time it is to get over it, and once it's done, you sit and you reflect on what was the lesson in that situation. Because we all know whatever is meant to be is going to stay. And you're not going to be going through this process.
Right.
So what is the lesson in this situation? Is this a relationship that you had that replicates the one before? Are you not learning the lesson that was meant from the last one?
Right.
And you're repeating a cycle.
Right.
It's time to sit down and really reflect on that, dwell on that, and figure that out.
Amen.
And then move forward.
Amen. Hallelujah. That's so true. That's so true. But part of that is growth too. And I think a lot of people don't want to move on from breakups that they know need to happen because they're almost afraid of the growth process that happens after that, or they're not ready to grow.
We don't want to start over. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You don't want to start over. Starting over, it's not as bad as we make it out to be. I almost said it was trash, but it's not so bad. Because as I reflect on a lot of, the people that I've been dating, I'm very glad that you're not presently here. so,
But you know what? In that starting over, it involves growth,
let's
though.
just start a new one.
Because in order for you to recognize what you were just saying about, like, is this a pattern? Is this a cycle? You have to grow enough to recognize that and to work through that and to start, changing the cycle, changing your actions and decisions.
Taking accountability is one of the hardest things that you can do. Mm-hmm. Who the fuck wants to say, okay, I know what I'm doing?
Right.
No one wants to do that.
Why is it so hard for us to do that?
I don't know.
I guess we all want to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
So this week's poll was, do you have a hard time moving on or moving forward after someone hurts you? And 73% said yes. 27% said no.
Interesting.
I honestly was surprised by this. I don't know why. I thought there would be more people
it's
saying
hard to
no.
move on. I feel like a lot of people stick the knife in slow like I do. I get real low with it. Mm-hmm. If I was in love, I mean Beyonce, Brandy low.
Beyonce, Brandy.
like crying in bed, why? All of that. Mm-hmm. You get all of that. Mm-hmm. It's too much. It's way too fucking much. Now when I think back about so much
you're like, what
shit, I was like, really? Melissa, really? Girl.
Do you think? I think it's easier to move on when you're the one who broke up.
I mean, obviously, when you break up with someone, the weight that gets lifted off your shoulders is unreal. Yeah. You can fly after that. That's how light you become.
Yeah.
You know how heavy it feels to carry something that you just genuinely don't want to be a part of?
Yeah, that's crazy. And a lot of people do it and stay for years.
I've crawled before. I was
dragging it.
I was dragging out my arms. Dying out.
I remember you have definitely changed.
I was low, right?
A lot when it comes to that. You will cut.
Super low.
Cut it. Cut now real quick.
Yeah, I'll be cutting the fuck up. I don't care. But my wall is insane.
Yeah.
My wall's insane. My homegirl was telling me today at work, like, you gotta smile about something, bitch. You have to.
Oh, you got that resting bitch face, yo?
No, she's like, she was asking me some personal questions, and I was just like stoned. And she's like, but you can smile about it. Like, why is your wall like this? And I'm just like,
I saw you smile today.
Because y'all two fofos. I come in the kitchen and y'all was talking about me. I didn't sound like that.
Yes, you did.
It's all his fault. I'm telling you, I didn't even notice.
Oh, I noticed. All right.
That's why I left the room.
You ran.
She was trying to hide from us. It didn't work.
Yeah,
we saw. We caught it. Well, he caught it and brought me in.
Whatever, y'all.
You smiling because you thinking about it?
She's smiling mad hard.
Yo.
YouTube can see it right now.
Damn. You can't say it.
I can't stand you.
I'm
laughing because I'm uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable right now.
It just got a little hotter in here, didn't it?
I'm so uncomfortable.
So moving on.
Yes, please.
I have a hard time moving on when, from an argument. If I feel like you don't understand my point of view, or if you didn't say sorry, I can't move on. I can't move on. It'll come back up. If not right away, it'll come back up later.
Yeah.
I'll be like, so you remember last week when
literally,
we got into that fight?
Oh, I know she's like that.
No, because I'm the type of person, if you acknowledge that you were wrong or say sorry, done. I won't bring it up again. But if you just don't even acknowledge it and just try to make it seem like I'm the crazy one.
He looks like he don't say sorry. Just say sorry.
He says sorry when he's rational.
I like to wait.
That's why she gotta wait a week. That's why she waits.
He likes to torture me sometimes.
He's gonna pop. Oh, yeah, come here, talk to me.
Or if you're arguing, I'm a big don't go to bed mad person.
I don't know how you deal with him.
He's
I get a dose
The
on
good
Fridays, and
outweighs
I'm
the
like, I
bad.
would kill him.
the good outweighs the bad.
You got the
We all
right
got it.
I'm
one.
telling
She
you.
was
I'm a very patient
created.
person.
She
Was created for you.
And he was created for me, so it works
Aw.
out because I trust.
Mhm.
I got my stuff. So
I'd have killed him by now. Would have been murked by now. Yes, I said murked. I'm old school.
that was real old school.
I'm old school.
Yeah, I can't do it especially if you don't acknowledge that you were wrong. Because I'll be quick. If I was wrong about something, I will tell you. No, I was wrong. My bad. I'm sorry.
You calling her bluff?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Don't even play me like that. You know I do.
Fire.
I'm never. You know what it is? You're probably me because I will stand my ground and I'm very stubborn and I'm strong in my point if I truly believe that I'm right. But if I'm wrong and you prove me wrong, I will back down. So that's my issue.
So you can't be mad if you ain't proving.
Exactly.
But I usually prove
Bring
it.
the proof.
I have.
But sometimes I'll recognize on my own. I'll be like, I'm bugging. I'm sorry. My fault. You know what I'm saying? I was over the top with that or whatever. But it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you got to prove it to me.
I'm
Sorry,
the
I got that
worst.
from my
If I'm
dad.
wrong, I'm just like, stop playing. Give me a kiss.
Oh, that's
That's
how you
how I
cover
end
it up.
Boy, get over here. You know I
Let me-
love you.
Let me love on you. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't saying sorry.
So you gotta have a dude that's strong enough to say, "Nah, get off me, yo."
Yeah.
Then you be like, "Oh."
I just say, yeah, then I say sorry. You
Yeah.
gotta be that dude.
He's the worst. He'll just change the
Yeah.
subject. Oh, wait, but
That's what I try to do.
So yo, we gotta go to the store.
That's what I
later.
try to do.
yeah. So let's go over there.
That's why I do the give me kiss shit. I be like, that'll lead to something else. Just shut the fuck up.
Nah.
Let me come put it on you real quick. That'll change your mind.
You know, we won't have to
Distract
talk about
you.
this again. I'll be dead wrong. Dead wrong.
I know he hates me
We
because I
don't
like
need
to
to
talk.
dwell.
I like to talk it out.
No,
Like I was saying
I'm good.
before, I'm big on like not arguing before we go to bed, or if we're arguing, like I like to smooth things over, or at least come to something before we go to bed. Like I
I
don't
would
want to
just
go to
rub the
bed mad
booty
at
on
you.
him in bed. You'll be alright. I ain't mad.
He'll just reject
And then
me
you
just
just
to
poke
be
it
an
out and rub
a-hole.
it on him. Would you?
You know what? I don't know.
I've never tried that. I'm gonna try that next
Depends on.
I don't know how you haven't tried it. I am infamous for when a dude is mad at me, I'm just gonna rub my ass on you and see if it clears it up. So we don't have to go
I'm telling you, you can get that dude's gonna be like, "Yo, get off me, yo."
Yeah. It
Just
depends on
rub
how
your
mad I
booty
got
on it and see
you.
if it clears up. That's like putting witch hazel on
Yeah.
something.
You just gotta see. You just gotta see if it works. Sometimes it will. If it's light enough, it'll work.
If it's light, yeah.
If it's
'Cause
light
you're not
enough,
gonna be
it'll
like-
work. A booty work. But if it's a little heavier,
Nah,
then
if
you
it's
might have to
something
finesse
serious,
it a little more.
You're gonna have to do more than that, yo.
I know.
I know what
Look,
you're
I
saying.
know.
I know what you're talking about.
I've
Ain't
been in
no
this
booty
situation
rub.
too many times.
Throw some lips to the.
Yo,
You
what
know,
that mouth do, yo?
damn.
I'm gonna try that. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the tip.
He gonna be
About
like,
to start a
it
fight
ain't
tonight,
gonna
yo."
work.
Yeah,
It ain't
right.
gonna
He
work.
said he's about to start a fight
Yeah,
tonight.
because he want the booty. I'm telling you, girl.
Don't do that. Then I'll be too emotional to do anything right.
You do got an extra softy one on you.
Yeah.
She needs that love and tenderness.
TLC.
Mhm.
Yes, I do. That's all I got.
What was the third part?
That's it.
No, it was great.
Breakups, oversharing, breakups, and moving on.
And moving on.
So that was it.
That was it.
What other things do people have a hard time moving on from? Failure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mel just leaned back. She just completely checked out of the
Yeah, yeah.
podcast, y'all.
It's
She's
still
leaned
rolling,
back on
yo.
my couch right now. Maybe if she yells loud enough, you'll be able to hear her.
No.
Yeah, I can pick you up far away.
Nah, I'm back.
Yeah, some people have a hard time moving on from failure.
Mm-hmm.
Beat yourself up a little bit too much.
But I think it depends on the situation. Sometimes depends on what the result, what the cause. Like if you fail, what that causes.
Por ejemplo.
Like if, for instance, for me, I can say.
You like that?
Yeah, I did. That was pretty good. One of the things that I would feel or fear to fail is like losing the job and all that stuff, because there's so much that is held up by that job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something like that.
I can see that.
I feel like the straw was such a bad idea.
Why? Because it makes so much noise.
I clanked it on my tooth. It makes so much noise.
Y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It adds to the podcast ambiance.
It doesn't at all.
Ambiance.
Oh, how fancy.
It sounds crazy.
If you ring it, it'll sound like that little thing you guys were trying to play before.
What was I gonna say?
I have a hard time moving on from beating myself up. Like when I do something that I feel like I shouldn't. Like if I don't know. Like if I have thoughts that I'm not proud of, I have a hard time moving on from that and like I guess forgiving myself. It's weird. I'm very hard on myself.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know. Like if the most recent thing is I found myself being jealous of someone else. And I was just like, why am I thinking these things? Even though it's a normal human thing, especially as a woman, to feel jealous. Like, I was really, like, in my head about it for, like, weeks. And I'm like, why am I, like, so focused on this? And it really bothered me. I'm like, this is not who I am, you know? Mm-hmm. And I usually am not a jealous type of person. And I don't like it when other people are jealous in terms of, like, towards me. So it's like, it's my insecurity again. Always coming back and popping up in my head. It's annoying. I have a hard time moving on from that.
You gotta 1-2 those thoughts.
1-2.
Because we're always gonna have them. You gotta punch them down.
I hate it. I hate it. And it always seems to come off of like a really high confidence period in my life. Like I go up and down. I'll be like super confident and feeling real good about myself and proud of myself. And then I get to this low. Usually I think it's PMS that causes this. I get really low.
Yeah.
And feel like crap about myself. I feel like I'm ugly. I feel like I'm not about nothing. Like it's all these crazy irrational thoughts.
What we went through right before this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
About our bloatedness.
Yes. Yeah. Don't judge us. We're bloated.
That's okay. That's okay.
But you know what? We're sitting here bloated and real in front of y'all.
Is it bloated now? 2 weeks in a row? Nah.
We're real humans for you guys. We see everything.
So I was laughing with Jennifer the other day. She didn't know what I was talking about, but you happened to be at the printer. And I said, well, Cortnie's backside is hitting right now. You see her hair? Hair was popping. Booty all sticking out. I was like, she looks good, huh? And Jennifer was like, what are you talking about?
Well, thanks, girl.
I was like, no.
That's too funny. That made me feel good, though. Thank you.
I forgot to tell you that. I think I went back to my desk and died for a second. I died 1,000 deaths there.
She played you.
Yeah, she didn't know what the fuck I was talking. But I was also like, it's one of those things where I just start talking out of nowhere. And it's like, but wait, what? She's always a wait, what? Anyway, so.
She's always somewhere else.
Oh, man. That's so funny. I hate jealousy. I hate it so much.
It's all right.
Yeah, so that was my beating up and having a hard time moving on story. I feel like there were other moving on things that people have trouble with, aside from moving on from breakups, fights with yourself, failure.
I don't know, but I'm having a hard time personally. I thought that I was in such a great place, and I thought that I worked through a lot of my shit. But I found a duffel bag of trust issues that I still carry with me.
Got a little carry on, yeah.
I do. And so I feel bad because now every single inconvenience or anything, I'm like, are you lying to me?
Mm-hmm.
You might be lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't put that out there
Yeah.
because I can manifest these things
Mm-hmm.
by having all these negative,
Mm-hmm.
constant negative thoughts.
It is so hard.
So it's so hard.
So hard.
Why though?
And when the feelings get more and more invested, it's harder and harder. Because I've been cheated on in so many relationships that it's just, I always expect the other shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I just, it's an expectation at this point.
And you know what else?
And that's
too?
such a bad thing to say. Because like you shouldn't put that on anyone. You shouldn't expect everything to have its end. And I expect everything to have an end.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just a matter of time.
I get that. But you know what else I think too also adds to trust issues? Just the fact that, like you just said, when your emotions get like deeper into it, you become more vulnerable. And the more vulnerable you are, I feel like the more you're like afraid that something's going to happen because you're an open wound right now. Like you're just open for anyone to just slice you up, you know? So I get that sometimes. Like I say it all the time. I trust him 100%, but I'm so vulnerable to him that I feel like, oh my God, if he was to ever do something like, and that's probably bad. That's probably really bad. But like, I feel like it's good to be vulnerable to the person that you're married to or the person that you're dating, you know, to an extent. So I think that adds to that, like trusting.
Oh yeah, I'm petrified. I realized that. I journaled about it after y'all got in my ass last week. Yeah, they got in my head.
It was all the stuff that was already in your head.
Y'all brought it up. I pushed that all the way the fuck down, and y'all brought it up. That early Saturday morning.
Well, that's good. At least you were journaling about it and you wrote it down.
I did, and I was like,
look, I mean, we are all a work in progress all of our lives.
I'm so tired of crying. I feel like an emotional fucking mess.
But you're working through stuff. It's natural. You know what I mean? You're working stuff out. You're crying the tears of stuff.
You gotta let it out though, because I feel like if you hold it in and you don't let out the tears, then you're gonna trap it and it's gonna travel through your body and cause ailments.
It does. You are doing the work, Mel. So
get out.
There you go.
Get out, Satan.
Part of the process. Amen. Get from me, like you always say.
Word.
Yeah. Get from me.
Get.
Yeah, we're always working on ourselves all throughout our lives. So,
so my ex hit me up talking about feeling. I don't even want to count him, but I was told that I have to.
Wow.
Because DK, we had a conversation.
DK.
What? That brought it back in though.
But I don't know. I don't fully count it.
You had the combo.
That was so funny.
I don't want to count it, but anyway.
It's in there though.
All right. Well, he's counted.
In his scorebook.
So my ex hit me up and was like, he clearly was drinking because the typos were insane. But he's like, I feel unwelcomed.
Well, yeah.
Motherfucker.
In case you haven't noticed, we broke up.
What?
Clearly he was drinking.
And I want you in my life, but if you don't want me, then I'm going to leave you alone.
And what did you say?
Because I don't like feeling unwelcome. Oh, I left it on red. I never responded.
Au revoir.
I'm not going to respond.
He gets the point now.
I'm not going to respond. I thought about being a super dick and responding and saying, who is this?
That would have been messed up.
But
you know, he would have been like, oh God.
You could have just called out another dude. Who is this, John? He would have been like, what?
I mean, but yeah, I left it on red. I know he's in his feelings right now, but
he probably
what
cried.
is this be friend shit?
That's
if you and I have dated, we have a past.
Ain't no friend.
Your D has made its way to my V.
That's who wants to be friends.
Remove yourself.
Yeah, he wants the D to stay friends with the V.
I don't want anything to do with any of y'all at all. I have enough friends. I have a lot of friends.
Tell them music song don't work for everybody.
Word.
Which song?
Buddy.
Oh shit! It don't work at all with me. I'm good. I'm good. I got enough female friends to fill my time that I don't even get to see. Than to be adding some of y'all penises in here.
They will always try. They will always try.
Of course.
If there's even an ounce of a chance, they come in for you.
You can smell it in the air.
It's cuffing season.
It just sounds nasty. Cuffing season. Wow.
It's cuffing season.
That's a whole topic in itself.
Someone had texted me and I said, please, please don't call me babe. It's not appropriate right now. What's that mean?
Sir.
You cuffed the hoe? Applications no longer. It had me in tears.
That's funny.
I said, I guess so.
Oh,
You cuffed that hoe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
shit.
really funny.
It was funny. Clown ass. Anyway. Oh, well.
Well, I got nothing else.
Yeah, well, then
You
there's
got
that
anything?
moment.
It's affirmation time.
Bling, 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 bling.
Thank you, babe.
See that?
Yes.
That was a horrible
He
blink.
had
Don't
me.
hate,
No, but
yo.
he had me, though.
It was better than
He was
yours,
there.
yo.
He was on it. We got to give him credit.
What? Huh?
You know I can't multitask. I can't be binging and looking through my phone for the affirmation. I can't do it.
He had our back, though. It's all good.
That's what I'm saying, yo.
Appreciate you.
Beat that.
Let your wife big you up.
Yeah.
She never will.
I do on occasion. You ain't earned it this time. All right. Affirmation for the week. I'm ready to move forward with my life. I am healed and whole. I am at peace and ready to move on.
Amen, amen.
Hey.
Let's move on, folks.
Mm.
We're going to move on with this week and ending this episode. Well, I
That's a
hope you
good
guys
one.
enjoyed our conversation today. I just wanted to encourage everyone to reach out to us if you guys want advice, because it helps us to have something to talk about. So we really appreciate Anthony for reaching out to us for advice. Sorry we couldn't really give you that.
Please give
much
us
advice.
a lot of detail.
Yeah, give us some good details so that we can really give you a good detailed advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all the information for how to contact us will be at the bottom of the screen and in the show notes if you're listening to it on any of the streaming platforms. And yeah, like us, share us, give us 5-star ratings. Thank you for listening, and we really appreciate your dedication to the podcast. Without you guys, we're nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
Shit,
don't
I'm
move on from
something,
us.
but No.
Word. Certainly, we don't want you guys to move on from us.
No.
Stick with us.
Word.
Only the best is yet to come. Oh, and shout out to I always want to say Melissa. Her name is Michelle Alyssa. We love you, girl. You are so supportive, and you send us really kind, encouraging words, and we really appreciate that. So big ups to you and your beautiful little girl.
She's so cute.
She's adorable. So thank you for sticking with us and always encouraging us. And yeah, I think that's it for my shout outs. You guys shout out for anybody? All right.
I knew Babe was going to love that.
All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.